From broke to boss, I flipped the script. Super Trucker Podcast got me fully equipped. Left the noise behind, now I'm stacking green. Voyager Nation made me live the dream.
Hey man, let me see some sample settlements. That's not a problem. And you're going to see that. And you're going to see the top earners and all of that. But it does not end there. You got to be able to also look at it and are you even this guy?
Yeah.
All right, can you do those miles? Can you go to those states? Like that, that's where it starts. Like
no, let me just tell you, like most of the guys that never did a 70-hour week for as long as we've been here. Most of these guys came in saying what?
I'm the beast. I'm
the runner. I'm not here to bullshit. I'm just here to make money. And then excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. And then you start pushing back saying like, look, bro, you're gonna go bankrupt like this. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm a trust fund baby.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Like, okay, good for you, but I'm not a trust fund supporter here.
23 years in prison, guys. That is a long time. We actually did a video on this guy, Sanjay Singh, out of Coral Springs, Royal Bengal Logistics, with that Ponzi scheme. So 23 years, man, for a Ponzi scheme of 158 million. So what we're doing here today, just kind of covering the idea behind not believing the hype. Like for those guys that are looking to make some investments, like if it's too good to be true, it probably definitely is.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to how many times a day you get some scammer call you? Probably a few.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but somehow you're not buying in, right?
No, you kind of have fun with it and then hang up.
Yes. So, but yet millions of people every year are being scammed.
Yeah.
So for me, as in my position, because I also get quite a few phone calls like that, I'm just having fun with that.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it can be very, very annoying. Because, for example, if we calling you and we actually pretending to be the bank that you actually do business with, you kind of have to dance around a little bit to figure out, like, is that a real call or a scam call? But by default, in my head, everything is scam call unless proven otherwise. So for me, I think that individual right there, I almost feel like it was perfect storm of COVID money floating around all over the place. Everybody is a millionaire. So a lot of people that otherwise would not have money had money, and they thought it's a good idea.
Yeah, but like, check this out, right? Like, so if you're new to trucking and you're gonna get into that, like, one of the things that I really believe you should sit down and learn is the flow of money and where it's going and what are some fixed costs, right? A lot of the times we're focusing on like, how much can a guy make? What's the average, right? And that average, that word is kind of a ill word, because you should really be asking, what is the fixed cost? Not so much what is everybody else making. Because let's take it down a little bit, man. Like, I saw on TikTok this guy, it's a courier service for like medical stuff or some shit like that. And so he's delivering out of like an S-Class Mercedes and dressed all pretty,
What is he delivering, drugs?
Yeah, but like, and he's at the dock and delivering. So for those who don't know trucking, you're falling in love with that big boy car. You're falling in love with the idea of freedom. But like, let's just rationalize this before somebody becomes a victim. Like, the expense and wear and tear on that vehicle to do that, it doesn't even make sense. Like,
it depends. If he's delivering drugs, then it's probably does.
So but what's gonna happen? But what's gonna happen? Everybody, follow, and then you're gonna go after that, thinking you're getting an S-Class to go deliver toothbrushes. Like, I don't understand, man. Like,
I actually, now you reminded me, like, long time ago. Like, I went to stop by the Flying J in Indiana on I-65, like I think exit 240. And I stopped to get some fuel, and the truck next to me that parked, man, this freaking black gentleman dressed in suit, man, the fuck, like he was going on a fucking prom.
Oh man.
And I was like, what the fuck? And like, where are the hidden cameras at? But again, TikTok was not around yet.
Yeah.
So that just, again, like sometimes I hear you saying that handshake does not match the smile.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing. Like, you have to educate yourself about that business and what you're about to get into, but look for factual, because a lot of people are going to blame, like, let's say a recruiter, right? Let's just take it back to trucking and kind of scale it down a little bit. You know, the recruiter said all of this shit, and now I'm on here and it's all lies. Well, at the same time, like, we just can't make ourselves victims. Like, if you've been in the game of trucking, and, you know, like, I got a call a couple months ago, man, the guy's like, man, I want a net 5,000 take home, and I'm local home every night.
That sounds like...
So if I would have said, yes, come here, and then it doesn't become real, who's the bad guy?
Both of you.
But
You're both idiots.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, but somehow in his world, he's going to be pardoned from that, and it's just me because I bullshitted him to come here.
Yes, but I wouldn't call it bullshitting. I would call it pandering, maybe more accurately.
Yeah.
However, I don't know, man. Like, how do you, like, one of the most common, like, questions that I see in the comments or, like, in the messages, how much on average owner-operator makes?
Owner-operator partnership is very real. I got tons of guys who are making 4,000 take-home. Learn how you can do that by giving me a call at 863-342-5171. We are conveniently located in Lakeland, Florida. We are a Florida-based trucking company that is here to provide you resources to be successful. So once again, it's 863-342-5171.
And people want to get an answer.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm put in in some crazy box, and the crazy box looks like this. You pull up all the numbers, right, for a company.
Right.
For any given week. And there are people ranging from negative settlements
To like really, yeah.
to last week, last Friday, I think, or Thursday, we talked about it. Like, we had the previous week's settlements like in 5,000s.
Yeah.
That's after cut, after all the fuel deductions, after everything, over 5,000. So now, and it's spread all over the place. And now, me not knowing how this individual that is asking that question runs, how he does his business, what am I supposed to answer? Should I just get an average number for all the units? But then again, I see a problem with that, because if I'm serious owner-operator, I don't care about the average of your negative settlements.
Right,
because that's your business model that's broken. It's not the company, it's not the market. It has nothing to do with nothing else but you and your truck and your fuel economy and your bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even if I'm just gonna pick the middle number, that's not gonna be an accurate number, because I don't know who am I talking to. I don't know if I'm talking to the guy that's never gonna hit the road unless it's Wednesday already, and he has some sort of predicament that he has to be home Friday morning, or I'm talking to the guy that's actually gonna hustle 70 hours a week. So my idea of providing the numbers that I would consider, if the individual is asking about weekly numbers, I need to pull. I can't be counting people that only work 2 days. I can't be counting people, because he is asking for weekly numbers, not daily numbers or whatever. So I would say I would pick anything from the middle up are going to be the people that actually hustle, give or take, 70 hours.
Right.
Or really close to 70 hours. And then the average of that, I would say it's a reasonable average, because if you're running the race with your team, like team race, and you're being judged by everybody on your team, would you say it's fair to have on your team people that can't even run, that are walking, and now it affects your numbers, your place in the race?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's and another crazy thing. Like, I know some people for years. Like we've been in trucking for years. We're talking like 20 years. And I remember this one specific guy. He's calling me. And he's like, "Hey, I've heard you in Florida." I'm like, "Yep. What's up?" Well, I'm considering, moving to Florida, yada yada. So, how much you guys coming out of Florida? And I'm like, is that the same guy that I know?
Yeah.
I'm getting the same shit as you do.
Right, but
as a matter of fact, the only way for me to get anything better than what you do, I need a truck that's gonna jump when I'm gonna say jump. That's it. Period.
Here we go. Because even aggressive recruiting out there, people will always say, hey man, let me see some sample settlements. That's not a problem. And you're going to see that. And you're going to see the top earners and all of that. But it does not end there. You got to be able to also look at it and are you even this guy?
Yeah.
Can you do those miles? Can you go to those states? Like that's where it starts. Like,
no, let me just tell you, like most of guys that never did a 70-hour week for as long as we've been here. Most of these guys came in saying what?
I'm the beast. I'm the best.
I'm the runner. I'm not here to bullshit. I'm just here to make money. And then excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. And then you start pushing back saying like, look, bro, you're gonna go bankrupt like this. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm a trust fund baby.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Like, okay, good for you, but I'm not a trust fund supporter here, because I'm not that, like, we paying for those trailers. We paying for your dispatcher to sit here, to be ready at the moment's notice whenever you decide to go out. And it's cool. That's part of business. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying you can't be like freaking in the negative every week and telling me that somehow it's fine.
Yeah.
Because if it's fine for you, then I don't know. You do you, but like that's not fine for me.
Yeah, because even it comes like down to that point, like, right? Everybody's like, oh, I'm looking for transparency. Okay, I'm looking for companies that have that transparency and can communicate in partnership. All right, but can you handle when they come in, they gut check you that what you're looking for is fantasy?
Unfortunately, the sad reality is most people cannot. The good reality is, actually, like, I've seen quite those polls that we post on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've seen myself aligning quite a bit. Obviously, some picks that I'm making are just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Kind of like, that I would pick the craziest stuff or whatnot. But I know on the, in reality, that what I think is really valuable is that. Let's say the answer A, right?
Right.
And I see myself aligning with most of people. That gives me hope. That gives me hope that most people asking stupid questions are not the majority. We are just this loud, obnoxious minority of totally confused people that needs daddy government to govern them harder.
Yeah, because even this, man, like, trucking is a complicated business.
It is.
And,
it's very expensive business.
Yeah. And then, like, a lot of the fleet owners that want that automation, like, just put on, just get the check in the mail. It's very difficult to do that, if even possible.
If that was possible, I would be down for it. But knowing what I know, trucking automation, unless the company that's providing that automation is Amazon, Tesla, the big dogs. And the part of automation this is how I would kind of buy into this. So some mega company. And again, once we start going into mega companies, we don't need us. We don't need you, an owner operator. So imagine to achieve true automation, you need to eliminate the drivers. You got to have self-driving trucks, right? For self-driving trucks, you need to have those huge terminals between the hubs. And most self-driving trucks are going to go from hub to hub to hub. And then, at least for the time being, until further notice, the local deliveries are going to be done by humans, right? I believe that automation is possible between the hubs. But the problem is, the business that can actually create that doesn't need me.
No, so why drag you in? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm totally useless for them. Like, they don't need me. Period.
Unless they're like, hey, fill this out. You got a DOT number, and now that's your truck, and they're shifting liability.
Yes, unless that. And again, liability costs money. It's fine, cool. If that's your business model, if you want to carry other people's liability on your shoulders for a little bit of money, good luck to you. However, I'm just saying that based on what I know, anything outside of those guidelines and word automation is impossible or scam. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that, because this is at the end of the day like a really, really old school people business, and it's an easy industry to get into for those who really want it. You know what I mean? And then, but you can't take the people factor out of this, and that's what complicates it. It's we've said it time and time again: 100 miles away, 55 miles an hour. 2 hours cushion time, and that's easy. That's not the complicated part. But did the guy show up on time? Did he even wake up? Did he pee? Did he start his clock too early? Like, all these things that come with that, breaking down. He doesn't call anyone. Like, and then what?
Yeah, like, so, the bullshit, the incidents, accidents. I know all of you think you guys are the best of the best, but like, pretty much, like, how's the average accident being reported? The third particle, two days later, and you're trying to. The reason the company is looking for that information on the spot is to help you
minimize
minimize the damage. Like, as soon as you get into something, we want to know everything right there and then, because the information that we're gathering that information not against you,
but to protect,
but to protect ourselves first, obviously. But you are part of us if you're running with us, right? So you just already in the package. And, running away from the situation, not taking pictures, not communicating properly, only increases the liability.
And then that's the thing too, like, right? Everybody wants that dream of big trucking, big company. But, like, come on, guys, like, work on your craft, because if your best decision is to just drive away because you don't want to confront an issue, how are you going to handle problems when it becomes a big company? You can't even handle that. Like, now what?
But the problem is nobody wants to see the reality. Everybody, like, when I grew up, I saw myself like a freaking Terminator or some shit. Like for real, man. Like, for real.
Illegal.
I felt like
wait, what?
Terminator. I thought I'm like gonna conquer the world, man, and none of that happened. None of that. Like, for real. So I think a lot of a lot of people, even like entering the business, talk is cheap, but at the end of the day, you have to be realistic too. So you gotta see what you can or cannot do. Would I enter some business of like building nuclear power plants? If I can sit on the sidelines and cheerlead, but not the other way around, because I don't know anything about it, and I would be just a liability on the team. Trucking, sure. I can contribute some, but not nuclear plants, man.
Yeah, here you go. All right, guys. So if it's too good to be true, you got to ask yourself, am I asking the right questions?
Yes, and don't fall in love with bad ideas, because
it's so easy to do that,
the
though.
Final thought, like, I remember this guy that called us and to inquire about these guys. I think it was about these guys when we were just going like crazy.
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah.
So the guy calls us and he's like, "Hey guys, I've been following you on social media. Seems like you're straight shooters, and this investment company, trucking automation, whatever, and all you do, you just like bring money, and we source trucks for you, we source drivers, and then we never heard about it before, so we started asking questions like, okay, source drivers sounds pretty good, but how are we gonna handle this? How are we gonna handle that? And he doesn't have all these answers. And then at the end of the day, he was like, guys, like, thank you. I think it was very eye-opening. I think I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
man, and what the fuck? We just gave you everything not to be a victim. but people fall in love with bad ideas.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Or just like, for example, CDL driver that is broke, always broke, thinks that he's gonna buy a truck and he's gonna start making money. Not unless he's gonna change as a person.
yeah, his habits. Yeah.
Never gonna happen, period. So unless those two things gonna align, truck purchase and him changing as a person, he's never gonna make any money, period. Any owner operator that thinks that if he had, his own trucking company, that would be, if you cannot handle being owner operator, your own company would bring just more chaos. But again, people fall in love with bad ideas, and then shit goes sideways, and that's what's up. So good thing, the guy got put behind bars, so hopefully he's not gonna cause any more damage. But as a matter of fact, if you guys Google truck automation, man, there are freaking copycat companies just like that right now out there. Man, like that shit is like just bad shit.
Yeah, save your money, man. Don't get caught up.
All right, but if you're looking for the best trucking company east of Mississippi, give us a call, 863-342-5171. We are simply the best for owner-operators. The only.
And the only choice. That's right.
All right, guys, take care. Be safe out there. Let's go make some money.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are going to make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you got to do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.